Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. I have a great rack. I have Poinado. Ooh, what's happening here? Poinado. Yes, gosh. I didn't feel that was registering, but it certainly has now. And a pretty good pick. This doesn't look very far away from a bingo. Let down. Wow. I have let down. Does that play? I think it does. Above Poinado. Above the A. What a start. I was so keen to get Poinado down when you have an opening bingo, because I didn't want it to be an occasion where opponent rapidly aborted the game. At least if you're in front when the game is aborted, you get awarded a win, whereas if no move had been played, I think no rating adjustment would have been made. Anyway, we are up and running. Do I have any alternatives to let down? So I'm considering the floaters. I have down as a component part of the word. Nothing has come to mind. And let. And would through either of the O's, but it's only Poinado I've seen. Hopefully opponent is attracted to the double word squares in column 5. Well, they certainly leave alone my bingo, but they've done that by playing a fantastic bingo of their own. Let me briefly consider the new floaters to see if I've got any alternative bingos. Let down isn't going to score hugely. No, so let me get this down, and it only plays above Poinado. And that's quite a volatile play. Let down does take an S. I've drawn one. Vaqueros is good, not Vagueros. GUV look unbingo-y, but overall this rack does look balanced and close to a bingo. So I'm not seeing a 7. Nothing with the P or the N. A and S, so OWN and then TO. So I have auto with Vegas. That doesn't give me anything. ED. No. What about LA? Wow, that looks close, but I'm not seeing anything. Now I have a U for going after the Q, and Allah is good. So I could play Quag, getting rid of 2 out of GUV, which I'd certainly like to do if I can't get rid of all 3. Gov and Vug are both good. So I could play those in row M. But the rack leave after Quag is quite nice. In terms of burning the S in column 15, I've got Suave. What does that score? 36 points. Wow, that might be worth doing. 22 for Quag. Yeah, I think Suave would be worth doing. Now, opponent taking a while with their play. And they have played just 20 points. But they've taken the spot I was eyeing up. So is there anything better than Quag? Anywhere for Gov or Vug which scores well? Don't think so. Double through the N, using any 6 tiles, not seeing one. What about Guava? 20 points. So what am I giving up? That's 20. That's 22. So 22 keeping the V or 20 burning the V. How terrible is the V? I could end up with 2, but I think I'm minded to go with this because Quag doesn't provide much for opponent, although Ged takes an A, whereas Guava provides access to a triple word square. Just pausing about that because the A of Guava would cover the double letter square, so opponent's not going to score very much in column 8. And I'm just wondering about leaving alone all these really good bingo-y floaters. I do have a 50-point lead. I'm going with Guava. Okay, well, I kept a vowel-heavy rack. And the 2 floaters out in the open, or 2 of the floaters in the open are vowels. The other is the P. And of course the A is a vowel, so this board isn't very good for a vowel heavy rack like the one I've got, so my last play has not paid off. 30 for opponents and they've had to burn the S. That's good. I lead by 30. So how to sort this rack out? Do I have anything ending in I? Or what about OI? If I draw 2 consonants, I could be in bingo territory. This scores 13 points. It offers very little. Oi takes a B and a P in front and an H. So that's not a massive spot. I guess I'm opening up column 8 for a big tile on this double letter square. But then I'm keeping 5 bingo-y tiles, so the floaters may give me a bingo. I don't feel great about this play. Is there a way of playing off 1 more vowel? Because I am only getting 30 points. Oni is good. Any ends that work for that? I don't think so. I could play foci, but that just makes the rack more unbalanced. I am going to go with Oi because I could place my C on that double letter square next turn. I'm going with this. So, through AT, I would have X piscate. The X can be a good tile, but no huge spots present themselves. I have the P for poi, but I can't do anything great there. I have peace in column 8, preserving the X and the S. That's quite nice. I have mix in row N. Rack leave not great with C and P. Okay, 30 for opponent. And this is an X spot. So I could just play EX. Let me see what that scores. Rack leave of spice is pretty good, even though it contains P and C. 40 points is certainly decent. Opponent got only 30 for het men. So I am preserving my lead. Am I missing something? Floating A in column 15. No AT for the bingo I've identified. M and S. Not seeing anything, nothing with the O. Although a 6-letter ox play would score well. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything better than X, so X for 40. And I draw the W, which is a real dampener in terms of bingo prospects. And I also drew a D. So I have wiped in column 8, that's quite nice. And row C is quite hot. X takes a number of front hooks. but not peck, so I don't have pew in that spot. I could play wiped there. That would score pretty decently. So I've identified 2 spots to sort my rack out and score well. Opponent could block both of them, but it's unlikely or difficult. 45 tiles in the bag. Not sure if het men takes an S. It could be that het man takes an S, as well as having a men plural. So, are my 2 wiped spots the best? Wiped certainly better than wipe, because there are loads of R's unseen, as well as D's and S's. Still both blanks to come. Opponent could well have one of those on their rack right now. And some pretty decent floaters on the board in farms and the A of Yar. But if opponent bingos and I get wiped down, then we'll be fairly close. Loads of E's and A's to come, which are the bingo-y vowels. Out of C, P and W, C is easily the most bingo-y, so that's why I'm drawn to playing off the W and the P. But both of my wiped plays are using my E and I, so are there any shorter plays? Any spots for pew? Wow, I have cow pies in column 12. That scores quite well and turns over tiles with an eye on the blanks. P is opponado in a slightly awkward position for bingos. I think they tend to appear towards the beginning of bingos. E can go between X and D. Wow, just 22 points. Fantastic. Prex is good, but I'm not seeing anything great there. Rob takes an E. So I could play pew, but this is what I'm looking at. Wiped, keeping CES for 36 points. That's better than anything I'll get in column 14 and better than anything else I've seen. Oh, could take a W after it. So do I have anything ending EW? Not that I can see. I'm going with this. Wow. A long way from a bingo. But I have a good scoring tile in the J and the vowels to go with it. And certainly a play of JA would leave 5 very good tiles. So where can my J go? Opponent's play of Rob has taken out the EXED spot. I could play jar above let down. Slight risk with jar is that I'm keeping 3 vowels and 2 consonants, and it looks like there are plenty of vowels to come. However, I certainly wouldn't be in trouble even if I drew 2 vowels. But do I have anything better than jar? Well, I have JAI. Wow, opponent turning over tiles. And they don't have an S because Ritor and NY both take an S. So opponent didn't have an S or a blank. 31 points. So my lead only half a bingo. So I have J up here, or J. 26 points. I have the same letters here, 23 points. Cow pies, well, that was last move's turn. I'm not seeing anything in column 12. Not seeing anything hooking Rob. Any is good, but I don't have an N for Jean. Do I have anything parallel to guava? I have JAI and GI. Interesting, is there anywhere for JAI which scores well? Don't think there is. So, this is what I'm thinking of. Only 2 tiles. But this rack leave is a good one. Yep, I'm going with this. Wow, I draw the second C through an L. I would have Ecclesia. No floating L's, but 3 to come. Will opponent open the board up? I lead by 60. But any bingos are going to be in the bottom right-hand side of the board, or most likely to be. And then the board is going to be fairly locked down. Still 30 tiles to come. Opponent's drawn 6 random tiles, so even if they've drawn a blank, they may not have a bingo. I don't see a bingo with the floaters on this board, just rechecking them. A, F, R, M and S, not seeing anything, and P. So 1C is bingo-y, 2 C's aren't. I can play Seeker and JA, that sorts the rack out nicely. And because there's only one 2-letter C word, it will be difficult to make a parallel play which scores well. Both H's having gone. I could play Wicker, but that doesn't score very much. "12 minutes on my clock, 10 on opponents." So what would be better than Seeker? And should I be seeking to take out the bingo lanes in the bottom right corner, given that I have a lead? How could I do that? I could play Tika, Ticca, which takes out F and R, obstructs M, and just leaves S and A. I guess row O onto the S is the biggest one. Wow, only 11 points. Fantastic. An opponent takes out that spot. With F and U, opponent may have felt that I was holding on to the blanks. Well, I'm not. But it's great that they don't have a fabulous rack themselves. So, wow, interesting. Do I do this for 25? Which doesn't create any new bingo lanes. But doesn't Fistula take an E? But what do I have which ends in E? What about this? 18 points. I feel this is providing easy scoring spots. I'm not getting the value from Fistula. I think I will go with Seeker up here for 25. Oh, wow. Not good, even though I've got a bingo's lead. This is a dreadful rack because I have no bingo and I have no scoring tiles. Opponent could slam down either back-to-back bingos or a bingo followed up by a big Z play. And I'm going to struggle to turn over tiles here. This is bad news. Just wondering last turn if I should have considered Seeker in column 14. Probably not terribly much difference there. I could be setting up a Z spot in column 4. Anyway, back to this rack. Oh, look at that, 101 points, and opponent does not use a blank. And Seeker would have taken out that W, but that's very much with hindsight. But what an amazing bingo to spot. Very impressive. So what am I going to do here? I now trail by 24, which isn't terrible. Wow. So hard to score with this. Let me have a look what Oi scores. 14 points, keeping a decent rack lead. Let me count the remaining vowels. 8 out of 21. Yeah, slightly vowel dry. This is a very nice rack for the R. Really nice because of the RE prefix. Just wondering if I should open the board up at this point. I don't think so with 2 blanks to come. Opponent's got 7 random tiles. Yeah, this could be the back-to-back bingo scenario. I certainly can't take out bingo lanes given that I trail. But if I created a new lane, that might allow opponent to play a 7-letter bingo, which they aren't able to play in the bottom right. The R is the solitary, really useful floater bottom right. A is very, very restricted, although it can take an S in front. Only 14 points. Yeah, I'm going with this. And not good. Not good. I pick up a U and a duplicate. And I'm not seeing a bingo with the R. What about the F? Just waiting for this back-to-back bingo to come down. One big tile to come in the Z. E and P separated, not seeing anything there. I'm not seeing anything beginning with A. So maybe it is time to open the board up. I could play TUI and GI, sticking a T in the open. I could also do that under the P. And there it goes, 4 bays for opponent, back-to-back bingos, the nightmare scenario. Only 3 tiles in the bag, and I trail by a bingo. So I think this game is lost. What an amazing spot, 4 bays. Really difficult word to see. But it is there. So this is what I'm thinking of. Playing TUI here for 9 points, creating a new lane. It's a very feeble last attempt at a bingo because it creates now the only bingo lane on the board. And opponent can easily block that. In fact, they could score well in column 2. But if I played TUI and PI, then opponent could just play ZA. So I think I am going to take that risk. 4 tiles in the bag. Just wondering about alternatives. 8 minutes on my clock. Just wondering about playing CUT. 9 points for TUI is almost nothing. I think this game is lost. I don't think there's any way I can come back into this. So if I play TUI here, opponent could just play ZA, but they may be reluctant to put a Z above this triple word square. I'm going with this, TUI and GI. And I dodged the blank, I dodged the Z. Through an I would have geekiest, but I didn't stick an I in the open. I have skeet in the bottom right, getting the K doubled. And opponent, wow, they're jolly close to another bingo. Zeal and Etui, very nice, 73 points. So skeet for 42. And opponent surely going out with IRV blank. And should be getting over the 500 point mark. My lead certainly felt shaky with those blanks in the bag. And so it has proved. 7 minutes on opponent's clock. So, is it possible opponent won't go out? I don't think so. They've got Vias in column 4. Gosh, they're not a million miles away from Overzeal. That would really rub it in. And I think opponent has also got rebuy. Okay, rivet goes down. And the final score, 375 to me, 508 to opponent, a winning margin of 133 points. So many congratulations to opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. Over 500 points. So it was me to go first, and what a start. Poinado, 76. Absolutely perfect start. Great bingo by opponent. Very difficult word to see. Quininas. Quinine. A lot easier to spot. And I have back-to-back bingos. So absolutely the perfect start for me. Opponent plays Yar. And now I don't have another bingo. Vague. That's nice. B11. Down onto the D. What do? I played Guava for 20, but 2 more points on offer, probably worth doing. Opponent with no vowels plays Farms. And now I have this vowel heavy rack. Feis is being suggested from this F. What do? I played just OI for 5 fewer points. Yep, keeping a slightly better rack leave. I think that's fine. Opponent plays Hetmen. Now, exec E10. Same spot as I played X, but extended by 2 tiles. That would have been worth doing. 10 extra points. Not as good a rack lead, but I think the points mean it would have been worthwhile. Opponent plays Rob. And I have wiped for 36, which looks fine. So I've still got my bingo's lead. Opponent. This is where opponent turns over a lot of tiles. I lead by 30 with this rack. B13. Agi. I don't like that because you're providing a very hot spot in column 15. Although the rack leave is nice, it is getting rid of the 3 tiles I was looking to get rid of. Agi also playable in M2. B6. Jai. That was my play. Scoring more. I like my play. And opponent again turning over tiles to try and get one of those blanks, which is a reasonable strategy. Only 11 points. Oh, my word. Missed bingo. This P, which I was criticising for its position. And Ice Skate was available. Wow, well done if you spotted that. I missed it. 78 points. L13, Eki and Fistulae for 27, but burning the E's. Ice Cap. Okay, and then Seeker, which was my play for 25, which I think is in the pack, but all of these plays are a long way behind the bingo. Now, look at this. Absolutely amazing bingo. 100 points for Wingedly. I'm not even sure I would have known that was a word, but it certainly is. And I'm struggling with 5 vowels. So look at this, only one play over 20 points, which wrecks the rack and burns the S. So I like my play. And what a pick for 7 random tiles. A choice of bingos, and opponent goes with 4 bays. So I now trail by 80 points on a really tight board. So I played 2e to open the board up. And wow, missed bingo. Opponent has Rivalize. M8 across from the R of Farms. Doesn't spot it. Plays, well, either doesn't spot it or chooses to play Zeal and preserve the blank. But I now trail by 150. I play Skeet for 42. Keats available, J2. That's nice. And now opponent goes out with Rivet for 19. Could have got 25 at K13 down from the A, making Fistular. Okay, so what a brutal game. Absolutely astonishing stuff. The game opened with 3 bingos, 2 of them for me, and you can't wish for a better start than bingos on your opening 2 racks, but an amazing comeback from opponent with a beautiful play of Wingedly, followed up by 4 bays, and then a big Z play, so they were miles out of sight at the end. But Scrabble does have the potential for these amazing turnarounds and swings, and you're rarely over the line until very deep into the game. Anyway, absolutely amazing stuff. Many congratulations to opponent on their victory. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.